सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तं वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Whenever I remember a word spontaneous, I have a beautiful story. At least I think I would have told this story 100 times, but I never miss a chance to tell this story because it is such a beautiful story. How the person who is not cultured through education or so-called civilization, how they have sharp spontaneity. You can always see person who has not gone through the so-called culture or so-called civilization, so-called education, so-called trainings, he will be more spontaneous and alive. He can handle things in a much more straight way. Because all social training is nothing but training to prepare yourself before entering into the situation. Forget about fights. Even when you go to meet your friend in the car itself, you will be preparing all the dialogues. All the dialogue. You can't even meet your friend spontaneously. Even if you go to meet your friend, you are not dependent on your spontaneity. You do not trust your spontaneity. You do not trust your weightlessness. You are preparing the file. You are preparing the file. What should I tell? It's because you have to impress him or impress her. The game of impressing is going on. Even with your friend, you cannot relax. That is why actually dialogue never happens. I can say at least after the age of 6 or 7, dialogue never happens in your life. You listen to the other person so that now you can start shouting. Actually, you listen to the other person, you are not even listening, you are preparing your argument in that gap time. So by that time, you start putting all your things and he starts preparing his argument. The listening never happens. Listening never happens. Just each one is preparing and doing only the catharsis. Actually, psychoanalysts are paid just to listen. You don't have anybody to listen in the modern day. What will you do? There is nobody to listen. If you start talking to your wife, she says, keep your problems with you, I have enough. If you start talking to your husband, he says, enough, relax, I have enough. And he starts telling his stories. Actually, man has become never so poor in the whole civilization like 21st century. In 21st century, he doesn't have even people to listen to him. Forget about healing him. He doesn't have people even to listen to him. Over. He is completely out. I don't know what is in store or what is next. I think nothing more can happen. Nothing more can happen. One thing we can all be sure, nothing worse can happen now. Everything has been done. Nothing more can be done. Nothing more needs to be done also. Nothing more needs to be done. Anyhow, Shiva says, by your very nature, you are weightless, spontaneous. If you are feeling one important technique, if you want to find out whether you are egoistic or not, If you are constantly having a heaviness around this area, if you are constantly remembering your head, be very clear, you have tremendous ego. If you are aware of your head, let you be very clear, you have ego. You may say, sometimes I don't feel aware, I am not aware of my head at all, Swamiji. When you laugh loudly, when you are dancing, when you are sitting with somebody with whom you feel connected, your beloved, rarely with your husband, or rarely with with father or with mother, when you are really opened yourself, at those few moments you won't feel the boundary of your head. You won't feel you have a head. You will feel the weightlessness. Those moments really you are experiencing meditation. Those moments you are having the glimpse of meditation. When you are loudly laughing or dancing, not to show to anybody, or not as a professional dancer, just jumping for no reason. See these kids whirling, they don't whirl so that somebody will pay for them. They don't whirl, after that they can collect a ticket. No, just jump, just whirling, just out of joy, just out of celebrating. Just because 4 or 5 are there and you can see each other in joy and you can just see the other smiles and just you are sharing the smiles. Just you are inspired by the smiles. When you jump around, same way, when you paint, just inspired by smiles. When somebody sees and he enjoys, if you are inspired just by that smile and do something, you will feel the boundarylessness in the head. You will be spontaneous. As long as you are aware or you have boundary, you are pressured, you can't be creative, you can't be artistic. There is a beautiful story, Zen story. Disciple, great painter, was asked by the master to paint the master. Master is sitting, disciple is painting. Whole day he painted, finished the painting. When he showed the painting to the master, master first thing he did, give a big blow. Simply kicked him. In Zen masters are not so-called cultured or polished. They will straight away work. They don't talk much. They don't waste time in talking. The disciple was shocked. What is this? What have I done? He said, fool, don't paint you, paint me. Don't paint you, paint me. When you do it with your ego, you will paint you. Your idea about me, how you look at me, not me. Disciple was not able to understand. Every day, 5 to 6 hours, disciple sits with master and paints. Finally, he gets just to get the beating. And it goes on and on and on for 10 days. Finally, that day, actually, master is working on the disciple. He is teaching him how to paint egolessly, how to paint without personality, without individuality. Creating after enough of pressure, now the moment disciple sees the master, he starts shivering. He has started shivering. In those days, disciples used to be afraid of master. Once upon a time, disciples used to be afraid of master. Anyhow, finally, the last day, when disciple was painting, suddenly master says, I wanted to go to bathroom, you continue your painting. He went away. When he came back, he saw the disciple was painting without his being. He accepted that painting. Not only that, he says, now you understood how to paint without being. You may think how it happened. The moment master moved, the pressure on the disciple's head has disappeared. The pressure he is being watched. The pressure he has to satisfy has disappeared. The moment that has disappeared, he was able to do it in a beautiful way without the being, without the personality. Before he started painting, in his head there was so many pressure to satisfy this person, that person, this and that. So many weights were there on his head. When he started working with the master, by creating big pressure, he removed all other pressures. Actually, if you get married, you won't have any other suffering. That one suffering is enough to take away. And this reflexology, if you go through reflexology, you will not have any other pain, because that pain is that pain is enough to take away all other pains. Same way, sometimes big pains takes away all the small pains. Master sits on him and takes away all other weights. And after removing all other weights, he removes himself. And suddenly disciple feels the weightlessness and enters into the spontaneity, enters into the spontaneous energy. And he became a great painter. Let me tell you this story which I was about to tell about the spontaneity. If you know the great epic Mahabharata, it is the history of India. If you read that book, you will be able to understand this story, because this related to that book. In that book there is a story, there is a scene. The Queen Draupadi will be disrobed, will be abused by villain's brother. Villain's brother is Dutsadana. We call it Dutsadana. His name is Dutsadana. He will be disrobing, abusing her in common palace, in the common darbar, in the court. He will be abusing her. She is a great devotee of Krishna. Krishna is incarnation of God. When she calls Krishna, when she was being abused, she calls Krishna. Immediately Krishna appears and protects her, supplies cloth, abundant clothes. And this Dutsadana, the villain, was not able to remove all the clothes. He is completely tired, he drops dead. This is the story. According to story, the villain will be disrobing the queen. She will pray to God, and God will appear in the scene and give her enough of clothes. He will be just pulling, the cloth will be coming, and it is just like a hill made out of clothes. So much of clothes will come out of her body. Then this fellow automatically drops dead. This is the scene. In India, the beauty is every village will have the recitation of Mahabharata. Means reciting this story is a ritual done in every village. At least once a year, they will do this ritualistic recitation of this story. And no mic or anything, just they will get into the stage and start singing or shouting. It will be really fun to watch the whole thing. And usually the kids and the old ladies who don't have any other work, they will come and sit there. And they will chew the tobacco leaf and spit on somebody and spit the juice on somebody. You will have a little prasad and tirtha. And all these kids will do 1, 2, 3, everything there itself. Nothing can be done. And it will all be there. You will be sitting amidst of all these things and enjoying the drama. And it's like a village gathers together. And not only Mahabharata, all the village stories also will be told there. Each one will be talking to others about what happened to her and what happened to him, who ran away with whom, who is living with whom, and who is doing what. The whole story they will share there only. It's like a common place, get together, where they will sit and speak all these things. And traditionally, women are not allowed to participate, women are not allowed to act in the drama. Female role also will be played by male only. Male only will play the female role also. Now you have to understand the whole scene, only then you can enjoy the spontaneity. Only then you can enjoy the spontaneity or the whole thing, how things happen. And there will not be much instruments or materials. If there will be only one stick with a big tin attached to it. If Saraswati holds that stick like that, you have to think it is a veena. If Hanuman holds like that, you have to think it is a gadayuda. The same stick will become veena and gadayuda. You can't do anything about it. And the same stick will be used for everything. Gadayuda means weapon, veena means musical instrument. For both they will bring the same stick only. That will only be used for all the purposes. It's like a multi-purpose. And sometimes same actor will come playing 2-3 roles, and he will just change only one cloth, one shawl, and he will come back and tell the story. Anyhow, that day part is that Draupadi, means the queen, is supposed to come with 7 sari tied on one on the other, so that the Duchadana will pull the saris. By the time it comes to 6th sari, the queen has to shout Krishna, Krishna. The Krishna will jump from behind the stage, and he will jump into the stage and say, "Oh, my dear devotee, I have come to protect you. You are protected." Immediately the villain has to act as if he is tired, and he will drop dead. This is the story. By mistake, the villain forgot the count that day. Instead of pulling only the 6th sari, till the 6th sari, he started pulling the 7th sari also. The queen is wearing 7 saris. The villain is supposed to stop at the 6th sari. Until 6th sari, the queen will not call Krishna. She will be telling something Madhava, Madhusudana, Keshava, some other names. Only when this comes to the 6th sari, only when the villain is little tired or acts as if he is tired, she will call Krishna. Then Krishna will jump from the stage, from behind the stage. He is standing behind, smoking beedi actually. I am telling you the whole scene, what is going on there. And Krishna is standing with his mukuta and flute in one hand. Flute means the same stick. And he is just enjoying the smoking the beedi. Beedi means the village cigarette. And he is enjoying the beedi, waiting for call. And this villain forgot the number count. And he is pulling the 7th sari also. And suddenly Draupadi realized the 7th sari is being pulled. And because the 7th sari is being pulled, instead of calling Krishna, straight away she started kicking Duchadana. She started kicking the villain. Hey, leave me, hey, leave me. According to we were all surprised. What is going on? Usually the fight is not supposed to happen. How can queen fighting with villain? It doesn't. She is supposed to call Krishna, Krishna. Instead of that, she is straight away attacking the villain. And the fight has started. And this villain guy also did not understand what is going on, or he is doing some mistake. Somehow, finally, in that whole mess, he pulled the 7th sari. Now she is standing with a trouser on the stage, in a public stage, above the hip, female decoration, female makeup, with all the female dress and female jewelries, hair and the flower, everything is female, with all the traditional turmeric powder and decoration. And below with a trouser he is standing on the main stage. Behind that, Krishna is looking through the screen, still why I am not called, with a beedi. with the BD is standing and looking through the screen. Why still I am not called? What is going on there? What is going on? And the whole villages are laughing because the whole thing is now messed up. She is supposed to be women. Actually, male only act the role of female also. Now he is standing half male and half female. And Duchadana suddenly realized the mistake. Suddenly he realized the mistake. Seventh saree has been pulled. Now he has to drop dead. He can't drop dead also unless Krishna comes. Unless Krishna comes, he can't drop dead. Now the whole scene is confusion. Now what to do? But the spontaneity of this Draupadi, suddenly she said, Krishna, just because you cannot come, you made me into male, you converted me into male and saved my shame, saved my prestige. Oh Krishna, you are so powerful. Just because you could not appear on the stage in proper time, you are busy with your BD, you made me male and saved my prestige. You see, the statement itself is not a big thing, but spontaneity. In that situation, if you get angry, you can't do anything. If you are taken away by shame, you can't do anything. You can't do anything. You can't do patch up. All you need is spontaneity. If you understand how these dramas are done in India, you will be able to enjoy. You will be able to, if you can remember the scenes, you will be able to enjoy. The whole thing, just by single statement, she has made the whole thing straight. And the whole villagers now started laughing at her statement. They forgot that there is some serious mistake done in the drama. The idea that there is something wrong happened in the drama has disappeared from everybody's mind. Now everybody is involved with only that fun. The whole atmosphere has changed just by one statement. This can happen only when you are spontaneous, not when you carry identity. When you carry identity or personality, you will only be fighting or trying to pick up that saree and tie yourself. And how will you cover? Because everything is open now. After that, what will you cover? And nothing can be done. Behind the Krishna is standing with the BD and slowly looking through that screen. And that smoke is also coming through that screen. Smoke is also coming through that screen. Only through spontaneity, this kind of situations can be handled. In life also, you can't live your life completely with your prepared dialogues. With your prepared dialogues. You can't live your whole life with your dialogues. Do not write the story before things happen. You always write your story before that itself and try to enact the story. If you don't write your story before entering into the situation, you always write the story. You will always write. You are ready with arguments, you are ready with words, you are ready with everything even before meeting your friend. Even with your friend, you are not spontaneous. You are prepared. Now you just go with your big sheet, big paper. You go with your big, huge storybook and you exactly enact. If one statement, if something goes wrong, the whole story is mess. You go with a prepared story. I tell you, if you live without prepared story, your life will become history. People who created history lived without story. Either you live with your stories and just reproduce the same stories, live and die, or you live spontaneously. When you don't write your story, others will write your story. It will become history. If you yourself constantly write your stories and enact according to that, you will be just a normal human being. You will be just normal human being. Somebody asked me, Swamiji, you are so young, already your biographies are published. More than 12 different languages. Now you have my biography. They asked me, how? This is what I told them. I never wrote my story before living. I just lived. When you just live, you do things which can never be done with a written history, with written stories.